Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. It's been a while since I've done one of these Q&A videos, so I asked you guys to send in some questions on Instagram. We're going to go ahead and get to it right now. Also, real quick, I typically never buy the latest phone. I normally buy like the previous year's model just to save some money, and I usually don't upgrade my phone every single year. So I upgraded from my 11 to the 13 Pro, and I am really happy with the camera on this thing. I normally don't get excited about new tech with cameras and stuff like that because I have dedicated cameras that I take with me everywhere. But I will say this thing is pretty insane, and I've made a lot of photos with it and even video in the past couple of days that I've had it. So if you want to see a video about this at any time, let me know. But yeah, it's nice. Current fave film stock and camera. Current favorite film stock, I've actually been shooting a few different film stocks that I normally don't shoot. So Ilford FP4 and Ilford Delta 400. I've been shooting a lot of those in 120 lately. I've also been shooting a lot of HP5 in 120 as well. But I'm starting a new project, which you'll hear all about probably, I guess, when this video comes out. I would say tomorrow I'll be announcing my new project that I'm starting, and it's all going to be black and white medium format film. So I've been trying out a few different film stocks that I don't normally shoot just to see what kind of look and feel that would give these images. So I'm excited to see how that goes. I haven't developed anything yet, but I've got about a dozen rolls just from the past few days that I need to develop. So I'm excited to see those. I'll share more about that when I do get them developed. As far as the camera for those, I've been using a couple of different cameras, one of which you'll find out when the project is sort of revealed. The other one is the Pentax 672. I just recently bought this camera again. I still have my 4x5 camera. I kind of alluded to it in a video recently that I might end up trading my 4x5 or selling my 4x5 to pick up this camera. I still have my 4x5, but I did get the Pentax 672 with the 105 f2.4. It's a camera I've used in the past. I have bounced around and bought and sold cameras dozens of times over the years. This is one of the few cameras that I actually regretted selling after I did. So yeah, got this late last week, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. Paid probably close to 3 times what I paid maybe back in like 2014 or 2015, so that was painful. But I'm really enjoying shooting with it. I've been shooting a lot of stuff for this new project, but also stuff at home as well, and it's just a great camera to use. I'll be sharing plenty of photos once I do develop the film. So that's what I've been shooting mostly lately. Obviously, the M6 and HP5 will always have sort of its, designated spot in my heart, but over the past few days, the 672 and a bunch of different Ilford black and white film, yeah, pretty excited about that. Are you going to do another collab with Sleepwalk in the near future? Love the strap. First of all, I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the strap. Yeah, I never really talk about it here on the channel, but I have a signature camera strap with a company called Sleepwalk. They make amazing leather goods. I, was using their belt, their wallet, their key fob. Molly's been using one of their guitar straps. They also made some like sling packs and camera slings. They just make great stuff, and we developed a relationship over the years, and we kind of kicked around the idea of doing a signature camera strap, and then we did last year, and the support has been just overwhelming. Way more people gravitated towards it than we ever expected it to, and so we started with this brown leather camera strap, 43 inches long. That to me was like the sweet spot for a fixed length strap. But we had more people asking for a black version and different lengths to choose from. So now there's a black version, a brown version, and then 40, 43, and 46 inches long. So you can choose what color, you can choose how long the strap is, and we're going to be adding a new variant to that very soon. So I'm super excited about that. Thank you guys all who have purchased a strap and shown your support. It really does mean a lot. Because of that, we are talking about possibly doing something different in the future. So we've been, sort of kicking around that idea lately. So hopefully that can happen soon. But yeah, in the meantime, if you're interested in one of the straps, they are currently sold out, waiting on inventory like pretty much every other business in the world right now. But as soon as that's in, we'll have a whole restock plus a new variant on the strap coming soon. So keep an eye out for that. How do you stay productive, and what's next? Well, I stay productive mostly because I have to. Because it's my job, there's always work to be done, and there's always the next thing that I need to figure out. So that, is kind of how I stay productive. How I do it with a family and everything, it's definitely tough. With my daughter in kindergarten now and my son in preschool, now my work days are much different because we actually have time during the day where the kids aren't either with myself or Molly. So that helps, definitely. It helps letting me get some work done during the day. But we've never had a shortage of things on our plate, so it's just kind of second nature to me. But I think the big key to that and staying productive is doing things that I genuinely love and things revolving around photography, my passion. If it was stuff that I didn't care about, I don't think I would be half as productive as I am now. And all that to say, I still have days where I don't get as much done as I want to. I have days where I just feel like I'm in a creative rut and I'm stuck. To be completely honest, right now there is a lot going on behind the scenes with like my mom's health. I've talked a little bit about it on Instagram recently. I don't think I've talked about it on the channel in a long time, but with my mom's breast cancer that she's been fighting for the last 4 years, I mean, it's slowly moved through her entire body, and as of a couple of weeks ago has spread into her brain, which is one reason why you haven't seen any videos, in the last couple of weeks, and why I'm going to have a few videos just back to back to back at the end of the month because I have deadlines and things like that. So it's tough, especially in any kind of creative field where you have to think and try and be creative, and I have to, try and come up with making something that other people are going to enjoy. It's never easy, but when you have real life stuff happening like that, it's even harder. But you keep doing it because it's what you have to do. And I think if this were, a YouTube channel about something I didn't care about, that I wasn't passionate about, I would have hung it up a long time ago and just, gone and done something else. But it is something that I love doing, and I love the connection that I get with people. So even on days where, I'm just not in the mood, or I feel like I'm overwhelmed, or I just don't feel creative, if I feel like I'm in that rut, I just try to keep that in mind and just keep pushing forward, because at the end of the day, I'm grateful that I can do this versus something else. Now, as for what's next, I have a new project that I've just recently started, which again, you'll probably hear about, I guess, tomorrow after this video gets posted. And then also a new book that I'm going to be working on as well, which I was originally going to be focusing on a book about my dad, and I had started working on that. And then throughout the summer, my mom's health started to decline, and things started looking more and more uncertain. And to be honest, my mind has been sort of wrapped up in that, and I haven't really been in the right headspace to address the book for my dad. I want to approach that project and that book with the amount of care and attention that it deserves, and I want to make sure that mentally I'm ready to process all of that and put a book together with all of those images. Right now I'm trying to stay as present as I can with my mom and everything she's going through. And I'm also, making photographs of that as well. I haven't shared anything, but that's the kind of stuff that I'm really trying to focus on right now. But I do enjoy the process of putting things together and sequencing and all of that. So rather than the book with my dad being my next publication like planned, given the situation right now, I'm switching gears, and I'm actually going to be focusing on a Polaroid book, just an instant film book in general, sort of the highlights of the last 15, 16 years that I've been shooting instant film. So that one's going to be much more lighthearted, a lot more fun, which is something I think I need right now. And I'll probably do a video just sort of talking about that, because I think it's a really therapeutic thing. And I think photography can be for a number of different situations. So I'll probably do a video on that soon. But yeah, that's sort of what's going on and what's to come. Does photography help you with depression? Sort of piggybacking off that last question, I wanted to answer this one here. Photography for me has helped with depression in times where I really needed it the most. I don't know necessarily that it's been therapeutic in sort of, like a healing way, but it has given me sort of, something to focus on, and sort of an outlet that I needed at the time. Earlier this year, when Molly and I were, looking at separating, it was a really tough time in both of our lives for a number of different reasons. And, the couple of months leading up to that, I started shooting a lot of stuff around my home and sort of, the area that I live, specifically the house, but also just that, immediate surrounding area. And then through the separation, as we were kind of talking about going our own ways, I made a lot of photos sort of with that in mind, and it was very different for me. I was shooting stuff in a different way, and I just thought this is something I can work on. And thankfully, both of us realized that that's not what either of us really wanted or where we needed to be. And so since then, I've sort of let go of all of those photos and that sort of project in mind because, at the time I was coming at it from a very specific perspective that I no longer have. And I'm not, throwing away all the film or deleting the photos or whatever. I'm just not doing anything with them. And maybe in time I'll want to revisit that with, this new perspective and sort of reflect on it. Maybe I'll do something like that. But at the end of the day, if those photos never see the light of day and I never do anything with them, it was still, I think, a good thing for me to focus on because, at that time I was at my lowest I have ever been in my life, which I feel like people can probably tell if they go back and watch some of those videos. It's really interesting to put yourself in front of a camera when you're just feeling horrible like that. But I was making pictures and I sort of had something to focus on and keep myself, occupied with. And I was looking at a lot of photo books that I was drawing a lot of inspiration from. And it was just sort of keeping me going because without that, I felt like I just didn't really have anything. So whatever it may be, if you are dealing with depression, try it out. See if just chasing something within photography can be helpful or therapeutic, because it can be for me. But more importantly, take care of yourself. Do the right thing. Take as many necessary steps you need to for your mental health. Go to therapy, seek counseling, whatever you need to do. Talk to your doctor about medication as well. There's no shame in that either. The most important thing is just taking care of your mental health and always talking to someone, because even if it's not a person, there are numbers you can call. There's always someone there to listen and to talk to. How different is your mindset when working in 4x5 versus medium format or 35? Man, with medium format or 35, I kind of talked about it earlier. I've been shooting like crazy with my Pentax 672. 10 photos per roll, and I've just been ripping through rolls one after another. Whereas 4x5, obviously dealing with, 2 shots per film holder, and I only have 5, so 10 photos, for the day versus 10 photos per roll, or 36 with 35. It's way, way different. So with 4x5, I'm much more focused on like getting everything nice and leveled out and even, and I love that process. For me, as someone with OCD, I think I just enjoy like correcting all of these little things. But at the same time, I really like shooting a lot, and I think just the frequency of shooting, or the output of shooting, like the amount of photos I make in a given day with a roll film camera versus, a sheet film camera, I like to shoot a lot, and that's just not as feasible with 4x5. I love the process and I love slowing down and everything, and the image quality and the look, you can't replicate it. I get that. 6x7 gets pretty damn close if you ask me. So I think for my speed, for most cases, medium format is way more than enough. I don't know that I'm going to sell my Chamonix 4x5 camera. I might hang on to it. It kills me to see cameras just sitting there not getting used. That's another reason why I like to sell my cameras if I'm not using them that much. Man, it's so much fun to shoot with, and I think everyone should try it at least once if you get an opportunity to. I just wish I had a more flexible schedule where I could just go out and shoot 4x5 whenever I wanted. But obviously with 2 kids and a wife, I've got a family that I'm spending a lot of time with, and trying to cram 4x5 in there every so often, it's fun, but I like shooting a lot. Photography for me is a part of just my daily routine. I need to be able to be shooting as much as I can. Another thing I like to do as much as I can is pay my bills. So right now I'm going to take a break to pay some bills and tell you about our sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is the best all-in-one platform to build a great looking website. No matter what your skill level is, anyone can build a beautiful website with Squarespace. With all of their different templates to choose from and everything being fully customizable, you can make your website unique to you. No matter what you need, whether you just need to show off a portfolio or maybe write out an email newsletter that you send out to everyone, or run your own online store, whether it be physical or digital products, you can do everything directly through Squarespace. And as easy as it is, if you ever need help with anything, Squarespace has 24/7 award-winning customer service. If you want to try Squarespace out for yourself, you can do so entirely free at squarespace.com. But when you're ready to get signed up, go to squarespace.com/mattday, and that'll get you 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I tried to make it somewhat of a little bit of an update in there just so you guys know what's been going on with me, why there hasn't been as many videos. I appreciate all of you who have reached out. Our whole family really does appreciate that. I will obviously keep you guys posted on things in the coming weeks. But yeah, just know that I appreciate everyone here that has reached out, and just be nice to people, be kind. That's all. Love you guys. See you next time.